My dear nation builders, you are the present and the future of this nation. I am thankful to Mr. Paleti and Mr. Brahman to invite me to this great gathering. Needless to say that I started my journey into teaching in the year of 1964. I don't think many were born. Before that, maybe one or two. I can see Lieutenant General Arjun Ray because we were contemporaries in Jaipur. He was in St. Xavier's and I was in Maharani Gayatri Devi. And I think he's the only general from that school, a lieutenant general, and I'm a general's wife. So we have something in common, two things in common, and education as well. When I heard him speaking, I was reminded of my school days. That was in the 50s. And I realized that when I heard all the speakers today, there wasn't much difference really. Between, of course, I had a British principal, and all of you are even better. So, with great principles here, we expect a great nation. As I said, you are nation builders. Everybody has spoken about many, many things, great things, and things to be worried about. But there is one thing that we all need. We can't teach that, but we can become that. And that little thing is a four-lettered word called love. Love. You love yourself? No? You love your children? You love your work? How much? A lot, right? And you love your life. People are speaking of so many big, big things. But at 83, I should have been lost to the world. But I still think that we are just the same. So the fears of the future should not really antagonize us, should not really worry us. But I think we need to listen to our children. And I said, we need to love them. We need to laugh with them. We need to live a life which they can actually want to live too. And if they learn, let that be a song. And I'm sure that their longing for learning for a lifetime will come from the love you give them, the laughter you enjoy today, they will do so all their lives. All the scientific research, all the technology, I don't know if it will lead to the social quotient or not, or will it lead to just individuality where we will forget even who is sitting along with us or who is our neighbor. Even today, the neighbors are forgotten because we're so busy with our lives. So I am a great propeller of physical quotient. Physical quotient to be fit like General Arjun Ray, right? The army people are fit. And I think fitness is important. Health education is really, really important. You agree with me? If you're a fit teacher, then you won't have to worry about taking too much leave. Of course, intelligence quotient has been emphasized enough through the morning, and I think we've all become robots of IQ. But we need love, as I said, it's an emotion quotient. If you don't have emotions, then you're not a human being. And then I talk about social quotient, as I said, because if you don't work together, then there's no fun being a human being. And I think it's so very important, of course, to have TQ, but at the cost of TQ, you cannot miss EQ and SQ. We are today encouraging our children to be competitive, right? The moment the child gets down from the bus, the mother says, if he's a dipsite or if she's a dipsite, you had a Monday test. How many marks did you get? And if the child says that he got less marks than the last time, there comes a slap on his face. Even the parents today need to go to schools. We do not have parenting schools. Any of you, Mr. Jain, for example, I think you should start a parenting school. Parents need to go to the school because if the parents don't understand the children, who will? And expectation from examinations is becoming so important. For every percentage, you miss the mark to join a good university. And private universities are certainly very expensive. And at the cost of all of that, the parents are really worried. All the kid does is to study, study, and study. Where is the fun element? There are no movies. We in school went to the Sunday movies, which was quite a meeting point for everybody. But now it's all so serious. Everybody is so, the mothers are working, the fathers are working, of course. So their time is spent in making sure that the time is well spent, whether you're in the kitchen or you're doing anything else, you're only wanting to teach your children along with all that you do. So, do we need robots? Do we need biotechnology? I would say that AI surgery as well is important. But the debate between man versus machine, man versus man, real versus real, and real versus virtual is the debate that's going on in our minds. Actually, I think today is also a belated celebration of the birth of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, whose vision, wisdom continue to guide us. So, dear friends, who are also, as I said, shaping the country of today, and the blood, the genes of 5,000-year-old culture flows in our veins, flows in the veins of our children. And to be a proud Indian and to make our children proud Indians is your responsibility. It is my responsibility. And I think if Indians become conscious of peace, did you hear that they have started a war ministry somewhere? While we are promoting peace, peace, and peace, the papers say that they're going to be a war ministry and not a defense ministry. So that shows the difference between peace in India and war outside. There is war all around. The war is because the war is in the mind. So today, let us pledge together to live in peace, create peace, and be peaceful. Thank you for listening to me.